Hey, what's up? What's up, YouTube? Back at it again with another gas mask review. Today I will be reviewing the US M17A1 gas mask. Going over a little bit of history about the M17A1. It was designed to replace the M17. It was, I think the first year production was 1966. And so a lot of people, mainly Vietnam reenactors, might say that like you can't use the M1 gas cap for it, but for canteens, but you technically could, but it'd be like really uncommonly seen. So the M17A1's additions, or revised M17, had a drinking tube, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can just drink from a canteen through your gas mask without having to take off your gas mask in a chemical environment. So in other words, you can stay hydrated. And in case if you don't know, humans kind of need water on a regular basis, or else we'll dry out, and that does not sound very fun. This particular gas mask was made in 1969 and made by MSA, as all the other variants of the M17 was made by. So you turn the knob this way to my left, and it'll activate or move the drinking tube closer to your mouth. You turn it to the right, and it'll move the resuscitation tube closer to your mouth. This particular M17A1 is fitted with an M6A2 chemical protective hood made in 1981. So it's technically the incorrect hood. So I should be using this. This is the M6 hood. You'll notice the differences between the M6 and the M6A2 is that there's a zipper running down the M6A2 and some more Velcro strips on the edges here. But the M6 just has, and on the M6A2 it has a leather adjuster, while this just has the metal, which I prefer this one a lot more. It just seems more convenient. I don't need all this fancy stuff with the M6A2, but that's just my opinion about it. You'll notice that this M17A1 has the outserts installed, the nighttime clear ones. Let you observe different, I guess, like shades. I don't know. They're pretty clear. Moving on to the inside of the mask. I can try to do this with one hand. Is needless to say hard to. You'll see the resuscitation tube and the drinking tube, and then the C8 R1 head harness, which I got unissued. I got like a whole pack for like 5 of them at a surplus store for like $6 unissued. So there's the inside. Pretty much just exactly the same as the M17s, except the drinking tube and the resuscitation tube. Let me explain the resuscitation tube. So here it is. I think I'm like the only video on YouTube to show this tube and like sort of like how it works. But pretty much, because I'll see a lot of people say that you connect this one into your gas mask and then the other into another one's, but all it is this. So you lift this up and connect it to that, and you put this in someone's mouth. Sort of looks like the thing from Monsters Incorporated. So you put this in someone's mouth, and you just exhale, just like you normally would through CPR. But I think what this does is it leaves open the exhale valve in your gas mask that you'd be wearing. which is no bueno. But as everyone always says, obviously it's just essentially exposing, obviously the person that you're performing CPR on doesn't have his mask on, so he's already exposed, and soon you will be too. Moving on to the carrier, I gotta pick it up off the ground here. The M17A1 had, I believe, 2 carriers. Now this is the bag that came with it, so for all I know this could be an M17 series or an M17A2 bag, since you really can't read the stamps anymore. But the first variant had a big pocket below here. I'm not really too sure what that was for. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was for the waterproofing bag. But this is essentially the same as the M17's carrier, you know, the button closure, except on, like, it did away with the webbing to clip to your pistol belt. They obviously realized, hey, maybe this isn't such a great idea, and like I said, got rid of that one small pocket. And then moving on to the decon kit, it's hard to get this out with one hand. So here's the other decontaminating and reimpregnating M13 kit, dated 3rd month of 69, so March 69, so it's actually just about to have a birthday if it already hasn't. Has directions on here, so pretty much what you do is you'll just, so this first packet, there's a small hand wipe kind of deal and like a shaving razor, and use the razor to cut off your contaminated clothing. And then here are the 2 white bags. It smells like chlorine, so I mean, I probably shouldn't be smelling that, or I don't know what's originally in them. If anyone knows, hit me up. Let me know if I'm breathing toxic stuff. That's always great to know. But there's the decon kit, and what I was explaining earlier in my M17 review is that this is obviously a lot bigger than the first atropine kit, which was too big or too small for this bag, marked for the M17, but this has a bigger pocket for the decon kit. Weirdly enough, this fits perfect in this one, so obviously this one was probably like later on and designed for that kit. Moving on to the other accessories I have for this gas mask. On the inside here, I carry with all of my M17 gas masks, I just always have a waterproofing bag and then a winterization kit. This one I didn't even open. It's from 1982. February, so it just turned like 30 something years old. So I always have these accessories in there. If you saw my M17 review, you already know why I always have them. But I also have these, the laser green outserts. Now, from what I understand, these were only made in the 90s, but I eventually got 2 pairs, so I figured, what the hell, I'll just throw them in with my M17A1, since you still see M17A1s being used after the M17A2. These are sort of not, I'm not going to call them rare, but uncommon. When I originally bought them, they also came with the tinted brown daytime use and inserts. You would insert them to the nighttime ones. Unfortunately, mine cracked. straight in half, and I mean I still have them, but it's not as cool. So a lot of people think, oh, like how can you like really see out of these? Firebird JP's video did a great job explaining it, and obviously the ending conclusion was that these aren't that as bad as people think. So like here, I'll expose you to the light. It's not that bad. I mean, you can still see pretty clear everything around, but they do definitely look a lot harder to see through when you have the gas mask, or them installed on the gas mask. I also think they look a hell of a lot scarier too. I don't know, if I was an Iraqi soldier and I saw that coming at me, I'd be waving my white flag too. Not a whole lot much more to say about the M17A1. Other than its production ran from 1966 till 1982. 80s dated M17s though are like really hard to find, so collectors normally go nuts over them. But yeah, that was my M17A1 review. Like, comment, subscribe.